Okay, so here we have Aaron, who is going to assist me in this explanation of the basic stand. Okay? The first thing we want to be aware of is our feet, and the feet are parallel on the inside. The width can be either the width of the shoulders, which is recommended at the beginning, or you can shorten the stance, and go ahead and shorten it to the width of your hips now, narrow. Yeah, even more. Yeah. And so it falls within the plane of the hips. This is considered the natural stance where everything is literally physically lined up. We have the shoulders nest in here, and the shoulder girdle, okay, which will include your shoulder blades. Okay, and this is connecting through your side of your chest and your chest to your midriff, into the qua, the inguinal crease, which governs all the way across, and most importantly, in back, the sacrum. Okay, these are these areas, and that energy would come down through each leg. So we would think in terms of three basic channels. These are not acupuncture channels. These are the main Chi Gung channels. One is the central channel from Yin, the perineum, the place between the anus and the sexual organs, the tissue there, straight through the center of the head to Bai Wi, the crown point, and everything in between. Then we have the left and right channels, which these are not so well known by many. And if this was right dead center at the top of the head, we go slightly about a half an inch to the side, and that will come down through here, through the left eye, the left ear, etc. The left side, and now down through the left shoulder's nest, the left midriff, the left qua, and etc. all the way down into the feet. Okay. There's one thing that you want to be aware of. It is a lot more easy, usually at the beginning, to relax in the wider stance where you're at shoulder width, if you return to shoulder width. Okay. The reason being, you have a broader base, and it creates a pulling, a stretching in the front and the back apart. And you want to go with this and relax and let it stretch your tissue. It'll feel very comfortable when it relaxes. The narrower stance, now if you go back one more time, the narrower stance here, the natural stance, is said to be called this because everything is naturally lined up. And this is considered the best for healing injuries. If you have a specific injury, then you don't want to stand too wide. Okay? Now, for the beginning level, we will think of the feet in terms of three parts. Yongchun, the bubbling well, underneath the ball of the foot, behind it slightly. Jiashi point, straight through the two tendons into the center of the foot, all the way to the ground and into the ground like a root. This is eventually where you want to be balanced. And finally the heel, but not the back of the heel, the center of the heel. These are the three places where the weight touches. Now, the feet are so important because they are the benchmark, literally, of gravity as it comes through you. And as it comes through you, if there is blockages or tightnesses or various things that are not in balance, it will reflect in your feet as the weight, having more weight in some places, maybe not, feeling of none in other places. Okay? Eventually, the feeling will be the weight is equal. But that can't happen until all these blockages are released. And the first effort that we have is to release, with gravity, any tension downward. Okay? Now, before I get into that, we need to discuss the alignment of the arms and hands, and then the spine. So, in here, Aaron has stand in natural position. the hand will just hang down. It would be as if you, and I'll just pick up your shoulder here. Just let me do it. And there. That's where it is. We want to create a little space in here. Sometimes they'll say like a dim sum ball, but not way out here, just a little, so it's not pinched. We don't want to cut off blood flow anywhere in the body. And the hand hangs naturally. We want to let our fingers relax and extend. Although if there is problems up in here, in either the from working hard or in interior from the heart, longer pericardium, these fingers won't want to open as much. They'll kind of close. They won't feel comfortable. They'll feel like they're really working when they're stretched here. But later, if you relax, the finger will relax with them. And we want to feel eventually a space like a little cotton ball in between each finger. This is what it wants to feel like. We don't want to force this to happen. Everything that I'm suggesting you want to allow to happen. Okay? Okay, the next method is the Taoist method, which if you took your body and divided along a midline here, the side here, you would place the Heigu point right in here between the thumb and the forefinger, at the Jiashi point, halfway between the front and the back here. And then let the hands hang, and this creates a little space. Okay? The next position that can be adopted is another natural position. This time the hand just turns over and the middle finger touches the Jiashi point. And that's it. It just hangs there. Relax. And finally, there's one more arm position that can be used if you're tight in the upper shoulder girdle here. Many people are in the rhomboids, the muscles leading from the spine to the shoulder blade. We do this. We take the hand and we let our elbow and arm and shoulder rotate out, and then we place it just gently behind here in a little notch and just let it rest. This will create a stretching effect in the particular area and can be actually quite soothing. Okay, so now we have the spine. They say that the weight of the head, which is considerable, needs to feel suspended, as if, as I push up here, you lightly sink down into your feet. There. You have a feeling of a stretching here. Notice that the curve, the natural curve which exists here, we get rid of it. This natural curve creates blockages which later in older age become arthritis, become all kind of nerve problems, and also can become organ problems even. Okay. So we're aware of the place at the base of the skull, and we release it. This is a very important point. It's right at the center of the skull, in the middle. There's a little puka, a little indentation here under the bone. This place is significant. They call a Yu-Jen in alchemy, and they call a Feng Fu point in acupuncture. This is the point through which passes every nerve impulse of the brain to the body. So we want to be able to release this area. Our chin is lightly tucked under. The tongue touches the roof of the mouth. If you say the word lay, where the tongue touches, you let it rest there. Okay. From here, the shoulder girdle. It's very important. Many people have their chest push out naturally this way all the time. This makes pressure on the heart from behind, can cause heart problems. So we want to release that. We say breathe all the way up into your clavicle and then relax it down. And that's what's happened here. Notice that there's a slight concaveness. If I were to do it as well from this angle, it would look here. Here's my chest, as most people would do, athlete. And here's what we're looking for. It sinks and it rounds. Everything that you're doing here is going to relate to your spine. Now we have these curves in the spine. We've taken this one out and the one in the neck and let your head fall forward more. At first your head will feel like it wants to fall forward more. And you'll feel like you're leaning forward almost, even though you're actually straight. Okay? This is important to remember. So next we have the upper back and all the way down into here, which is the trapezius muscle finishing up in here. So this needs to open, and this links us to the midriff.